When you think about managing blood sugar, it can feel like this super complicated puzzle, right? Like maybe some pieces are missing. Well, today we are going to put that puzzle together. We're going to walk through a really simple, step-by-step guide to not just understand, but to naturally lower high blood sugar. This is all about making things clear and giving you a plan. So let's jump right in.
All right, let's just cut to the chase. The big question on everyone's mind: is it really possible to get your blood sugar under control safely and naturally in just a few weeks? Well, I'm here to tell you that the answer is a huge resounding yes. And the way to do it? It's probably a lot more straightforward than you think.
Because, look, you can't really fix a problem if you don't understand why it's happening in the first place. So we're going to peel back the layers and see what's actually going on inside your body when blood sugar gets high. Once you really get the why, the how to fix it becomes so much clearer. Let's start with the basics.
First up, let's call this the sugar story. We're going to look at how your body is supposed to handle the fuel you give it. And honestly, when it's all working right, it's a pretty amazing system.
Okay, this is a really crucial point to get. The white stuff you might put in your coffee, that's called sucrose. But the thing your doctor measures in your blood, that's glucose. Just think of glucose as the actual energy currency your body uses. It's the fuel for every single cell you have, and it's what we're talking about when we say blood sugar. So in a healthy body, this whole process is just beautiful. You eat something, glucose goes into your blood, and that signals your pancreas to release this super important hormone called insulin. Now think of insulin as the key that unlocks the door to your cells. It knocks on the door, the cell opens up, lets the glucose in for energy, and just like that, your blood sugar goes back to normal. It's a perfect system.
But what happens when that key doesn't seem to fit the lock anymore? Well, that brings us to the real heart of the problem. Something called insulin resistance. It's basically a total breakdown in communication.
I want you to really picture this. It's Thanksgiving dinner. You've eaten so much you can barely move. And the idea of even one more bite of pie is just impossible. Now, imagine your body's cells feeling exactly like that, but all the time. After years and years of being flooded with too much glucose, they get literally stuffed full.
And this is pretty much what happens. Insulin comes knocking on the door again, holding more glucose, but the cells just yell back, "No thank you, we're stuffed. We literally can't take any more." They just start ignoring the signal. And that, my friends, is insulin resistance. The cells just get stubborn. They resist insulin's message. And because they won't take in any more glucose, that sugar has nowhere to go. It just gets stuck in your bloodstream, causing your blood sugar to stay high all the time. And that's what causes all the long-term damage. This kicks off a really dangerous, vicious cycle. Your pancreas feels the high blood sugar and it panics. It starts working overtime, pumping out even more insulin. It's basically screaming at the cells to open up. But all that screaming just makes the cells resist even more. And your pancreas just keeps working harder and harder until eventually it gets exhausted and starts to burn out. This is literally the road from pre-diabetes to type 2 diabetes.
Okay, so before we jump into the solution, we've got to clear the air. There are some really common myths about diabetes that are just so discouraging, and we need to bust them right now.
Let's be absolutely crystal clear on this. The myth that type 2 diabetes is some kind of incurable life sentence, for many, many people, that is just not true. It is often reversible. And what about the idea that it's all your genes and you're just doomed? Well, science doesn't really back that up. They've done studies on identical twins, same exact DNA, where one gets diabetes from their lifestyle and the other doesn't. What does that prove? Your choices, your lifestyle, are a much, much bigger deal than your genes. You have way more control than you've been led to believe. Okay, so we understand the problem. We've busted the myths that hold people back. Now it is time for the action plan. We're going to focus on 4 simple strategies that give you the biggest results in the fastest amount of time. Here it is, a super simple 4-step plan. We're going to focus on what you eat and when you eat. And then we're going to add in 2 other really powerful habits, movement and sleep. Let's dive into each one. So first, let's talk food. I want you to picture a long string of pearls. Each one of those pearls is a little molecule of glucose. Well, that's basically what starches like bread, rice, and potatoes are. And when you eat them, your body just snips that string and bam, all those little glucose pearls flood your bloodstream at once.
So the solution is actually pretty straightforward. We just have to stop flooding the system. We avoid those starchy carbs that act just like sugar, and instead, we fill up our plates with all the good stuff: leafy greens, veggies, good quality protein, and healthy, natural fats. It's about giving your body a much cleaner fuel to run on.
Now for step 2, and it all revolves around this one number: 12. So what's so special about 12? Well, it's the number of hours you need to give your poor, overworked pancreas a break every single day. This little change is an absolute game changer.
And before you think, oh no, fasting for 12 hours sounds hard, just look at how simple this is. You finish dinner at 7 p.m., and then you just don't eat again until 7 a.m. the next morning. You're asleep for most of it. This 12-hour break just stops the constant snacking that keeps your pancreas working 24/7.
Step 3 is all about movement, and you want to do it right after you eat. A simple 10 to 20-minute walk after a meal, especially dinner, makes a huge difference. Why? Because your big leg muscles are hungry for fuel, and they will happily suck up all that glucose from your meal. It helps clear the sugar from your blood almost instantly, and you don't need a gym. Just walking in place while you watch TV works great.
And finally, step 4, getting good sleep. This one is totally non-negotiable. It's actually a shocking fact, but just one night of bad sleep can seriously raise your blood sugar the next day. So prioritizing your rest by following these simple tips is one of the most powerful things you can do.
So, there you have it. You get it now, right? You understand how the system is supposed to work, you see what goes wrong, and now you have a clear 4-step plan to fix it. This isn't about some magic pill. This is about giving your body the right conditions so it can heal itself. The power is truly in your hands.
You know what they say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. So the only question left is, what's your first step gonna be? What are you gonna do today? Will you take that walk after dinner tonight? Maybe you'll skip the bread and have a big salad instead. The power to change everything starts with the very next decision you make.